everybody, it's Elizabeth with the Art of Cherishing Home, and today I have something that I'm going to show you that I'm going to transform, okay? So I know it's very garish and very ugly, but I have a vision, okay? So I found this at our local Salvation Army. It is plaster. I think it's a plaster. I paid $16.99 for it. I think it used to be a pump, and then somebody just turned it into this Mardi Gras situation, outdoor thing, right? I'm gonna make it over. I'm gonna make it look cute. I think I'm gonna add an English garden flair to it. I think I can do it. But first things first, let's get rid of this ugly flower situation, because bleh. So this is what we're working with on the inside. I'm thinking I can either turn this into like a water fountain again, or into a planter. Definitely needs a new paint job. I'm gonna vacuum this out. So the next thing I'm gonna do after I vacuumed it out is I'm gonna use some soap and water and clean it up. Now that I went ahead and scrubbed it, washed it, I'm gonna let it dry off. So now that it's dry, I'm going to bust out some paint. I have this paint that I got from, I think, Lowe's, and some acrylic paint, and I have some baking soda here, and I'm going to mix my own custom paint to give this a more of an English garden feel. I just poured a healthy amount of the lighter paint in. I'm gonna put in some baking soda, as much baking soda as I put in, and now I'm going to mix in these two colors together into that paint. Put a healthy amount of the cool concrete color, and now I'm gonna go in with the Chateau chalk color. Not mix that well, but that's okay, because we're gonna do that right now. It's too light. I'm gonna add more gray. I need a more darker gray in there. As you can see, I'm going in and I'm trying to spread this as fast as I can over the paint, because it is super duper hot, and I'm not trying to be perfect because obviously I want texture, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I can do like multiple coats. So I'm just gonna move fast because it's super hot. So I was able to use all of the paint and give one coat in the uniform color. Obviously I need to add more to it, but it no longer looks bright. I'm gonna go in and do deeper colors, obviously, and then maybe add some highlights, but it is looking more English garden than Mardi Gras now, so there's that. Now I'm gonna go in with the Chateau and some baking powder to kind of give it that textured look of stone, and we're gonna go into some crevices and deepen it up just a tad. The amount of Chateau and the chalk paint that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use some baking soda. I'm just gonna use a little bit of the baking soda because I don't want to clog up the paint too much. So I took the chalk paint in Chateau and added a little baking soda, and then painted the back panel and the other darker panel to make it pop forward. I'm going to continue adding the darker color onto the piece and hoping that it gives it more dimension and gives it more of a realistic look. So I went and added the Chateau color towards the bottom. I think I'm going in with a finer point paintbrush to get into the crevices to put the Chateau color in the cracks and give it more depth. So this is where I'm leaving off for today. I added in more colors, I don't know if you can see that, into the cracks to kind of give it more depth. I'm gonna keep adding in more layers. So we're going in with the cool concrete
acrylic paint, and I'm dry brushing it on to, I think I'm just gonna make it into a fountain. I think that would probably be the best. So I don't think I'm gonna do a planter. I think I'm gonna take my cousin's advice and do a fountain. I've kind of already dry brushed it. I don't know if you can see onto like lighter points, but that's what I'm gonna do. And I don't have my garage door open because I have Blackjack inside. Look at Blackjack! He says it's too hot to be out in the yard. It's over 100 degrees. He says, forget that noise, huh? Forget it. We are gonna go in with a clear wax first to seal the paint, and then we're gonna go in with a dark wax. So I went ahead and covered it all in the matte wax, the clear, and we're gonna go in with some dark wax or antique wax. So I'm just gonna dabby dab on here and wipe. Let's see how that happens. So we applied the dark wax and we're gonna start to brush off a little bit. So we went with the dark wax all around and I buffed it in, and now I'm going to use a baby wipe to highlight any parts that I think have too much of the dark wax and give it more dimension. We're gonna go in with a lighter chalk paint to dry brush on some highlights. I'm dipping the brush into the top and then using the rag to get rid of the excess, and then applying it lightly, dry brush motion onto the parts that I want to highlight. Now that I've dry brushed the areas that I wanted to highlight, let it dry, and then I'm gonna go in with Rust-Oleum matte clear enamel, and I'm gonna spray it down, and hopefully it becomes waterproof. And the hours that I spent doing this paint job and this technique does not go for nothing. Fingers crossed. So this is one coat of the clear coat enamel. I'm gonna let it dry and we're gonna do another coat, but I'm really loving how it's turning out. I think it's going to be stunning. I definitely need to do a little research to make sure that I made it waterproof before I start to put the water in and have it running, because I'm gonna buy a pump and turn it into a fountain. So I just sprayed a second coat of the Rust-Oleum clear matte, and I did do some research and it says it's waterproof when it is not submerged. So for this particular project, I need to go buy like a silicone based sealer and apply it on to the fountain to actually have 100% waterproof, so that way the finish that I did on it will not bubble and peel off, because apparently it will bubble and peel off if it is 100% submerged, and because it will have contact with water the full time, it's going to bubble and peel. So I will have to finish this project another time. I do need to buy a pump as well, so there's that. Today we are going to be finishing up this project that I had started earlier and had posted it but didn't finish it. Okay, so I was at Lowe's because I was trying to get a housewarming present for my neighbors that moved into the cul-de-sac, and I saw this paint. I have no idea what color it is, but I was like, by the time I add up 2 acrylic paints, it's gonna cost about the same. So why not just buy this and save myself some time? I've already put baking soda in it to kind of give it the same texture. I'm kind of hoping that this isn't going to be too light. I'm a little scared that it's going to be. So I do have the Chateau color in the chalk paint here to add it in and mix. And I do have a sealant because this will run if I don't seal this. So gotta seal it. I did add some of the Chateau color in because I was like, dear God, this is going to be too much of a contrast and it's just going to look awkward. It's still too light, so more Chateau color is going to go in. I think I might even add in a bit of the terracotta color to kind of give it the same undertone a little bit. We'll see. I'm going to go in with the terracotta color and add a little bit in to give it the same kind of undertone. Hope this works. That's how much terracotta I added in. I'm gonna mix it and then see if it works out. That's a little bit better, but I still feel like it's a little pink tint now, so maybe more gray. I added way more baking powder to it because the texture of it just wasn't like what I wanted it to be. I don't know if you can see, there is like a lightness to this one that this one doesn't have that I feel like I do need to add, but I don't know if that's like way too light. I feel like that's just way too light. Like I need to darken that one up. So I am going to add more Chateau to this paint to kind of hopefully make it a little bit darker so it's not as light. I feel like I put too much of the lighter paint in, but I didn't mean to. It doesn't really have like the ability to like make it less, if that makes sense, when you pour it out. That's as much as I've added. I'm gonna mix down. So I think it's gonna be okay. I am gonna try dry brushing it though. Okay, so I have a paper towel and I'm gonna try to get off as much excess as I can that's onto the paintbrush. I don't know, I think I already messed. Let's see, that's not too bad. Maybe if I keep going, just trust the process, trust yourself. I dry brushed it on and I'm gonna wipe it off a little bit, and I think it's working out. We're gonna keep going, fingers crossed. Say a little prayer for me. Actually, it's starting to look a little bit more like the one on the right by just dry brushing it and kind of like wiping it away. So I think I'm gonna keep going and see what happens. I think this is as close as they're gonna get, and it's just gonna be them similar but not the same. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna seal that one on the left, and that's the original finish on that pot, and then this is the one that I did on that one to kind of recreate the look. I'm gonna go ahead and seal this one, and this is what I'm sealing it with, Rust-Oleum's clear matte sealant. I'm gonna let it dry. I don't think it changed the finish too much, but they do look similar enough to where I'm happy, and I'm just gonna stop because I feel like I could just keep going trying to recreate this and then spend hours doing it, and the whole point is them to be similar but not the same, so it's fine. And then a quick update on this project. We have removed the pieces that made it a lamp, and I will be using a cocoa liner, and I think I'm just gonna pop this down like this and then have the cocoa liner like be like, and then plant a plant in there that will spill down, and then I would like to add some crystals to it. I think that would be very chic and pretty and elegant. But I have not found crystals in my price range yet, so I'm gonna keep looking. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe, and there will be, of course, a part 3 or 4. I lost track because obviously I DIY a lot, so, and I have multiple things going on right now, so forgive me, my ADHD is showing. Have a great day. Bye.